There can be no peace without forgiveness. The path to peace starts by walking down the path to forgiveness. If you are holding on to negative emotions from the past, you cannot have peace in the present. And what is forgiveness? Forgiving is not condoning what was done. You are not saying it was okay that what happened, and you're not saying it's okay if it happens again. It is accepting that what you wanted to happen didn't. You forgive for your benefit and no one else's. The person you're forgiving doesn't even have to know. You can forgive a dead person. The path of forgiveness. To forgive, you must first accept that you can't change the past. That is the first step down this path. You can only change how you perceive the past. And to change anything about ourselves, including our perceptions, we must first have humility. The easiest way to get humility is to see ourselves and our lives in the light of undeniable truths. Because denial of the truth is the cause of all negative emotions and negative behavior. I'm going to show you these truths, and you will know how effective this will be if you just take some time with it. What is humility? It is not believing everyone else is better than you. It is accepting the truth of your limitations. You can be humble, and you can also lack humility, even if you were the only person in the entire world. So what are the truths of our limitations? I am not perfect. I don't know everything. I can't control everything. I have physical and emotional needs. I struggle with things in my life. I need help sometimes. I can't change the past. And I need love. Hopefully these are all obvious, self-evident truths. Leave a comment if you find that you can't argue with one. But I'm going to move forward, assuming that these are truth for everybody, not just me. So how do these truths manifest in your life? I cope with my flaws imperfectly. I manage my needs imperfectly. I love imperfectly. If you are trying to forgive yourself, this is where you need to look as to why you did whatever you did that you regret, that you are ashamed of, that you feel guilty about. To be humble, you must feel these truths in your heart and see how they permeate your life. Just thinking them is not the same as feeling them. You can think anything, but to really feel them and to see how they apply to all the aspects of your life, that will actually take some time and effort. But it is very rewarding, because when you stop pretending you are perfect, the past equals lessons and the present equals freedom. And if you were trying to forgive yourself, just ask, which humbling truth was I not aware of at the time? What was I trying to control that I really didn't have control over and caused me to try to manipulate? What emotional need wasn't being met that I tried to get met, that I couldn't accept? And through the list. So can I make amends for what I did, what I'm trying to forgive myself for? Did I do something else to somebody? Or was it just something I did myself? And does holding on to the negative emotions do anything besides prevent me from having peace in the present? Hopefully the answer to that question helps you forgive yourself. And what does this mean? With humility, you can change your perception of yourself and your reality. And if you are trying to forgive someone else, you can now add compassion to change your perception of them. What is compassion? Well, if humility is accepting the truth of our limitations, compassion is accepting the truth of everyone else's limitations. All of the same truths that humble you are also true for everyone else. Everyone imperfectly copes with their flaws. Everyone imperfectly meets their needs. Everyone loves imperfectly. So whoever you are trying to forgive, are they evil or just flawed? Did they just not know how to cope without hurting others? Hopefully this helps you. The answers to these questions, in light of the humble truths, help you forgive where you're trying to forgive. Humility changes the perception of ourselves. Compassion changes the perception of others. And then we can use gratitude to change the perception of the incident itself. What is gratitude? It is accepting that anything that I did or that happened to me could have been worse. There are good things in my life that I could lose at any moment, and those good things didn't have to come into my life at all. If whatever I did or was done to me could have been worse, maybe not a lot worse, but could have been worse, maybe I can move towards letting go of it so that I can start appreciating all the good things in my life now. That negative emotion that I'm carrying with me is preventing me from appreciating and leading, ultimately, potentially, to more regret. So the forgiveness formula: accept that we can only change our perception of the past, not the past itself. I have flaws and I cope with them imperfectly. You have flaws and cope with them imperfectly. Whatever happened could have been worse. Humility plus compassion plus gratitude equals forgiveness. So if the emotion that you feel is a little more repressed, a little more in the subconscious, you're having trouble just letting go with this conscious exercise we've been doing, try this: externalizing. Take out a pen and paper, open up a note on your computer or phone, and write a stream of consciousness for at least 15 minutes about the incident you are trying to forgive. You don't worry about spelling or punctuation, you just get it out. No censoring. It goes slow at first because you're not used to this probably, but over time you're just getting out everything that's in your head becomes faster and faster, and eventually you start to access what's in your subconscious. And it leads to insight, which is a greater understanding because it allows you to see things that you weren't consciously aware of and make certain connections. And this can lead to a catharsis or emotional release of the pent-up emotions associated with the incident. Any emotion that does come out, be it sadness, crying, anger, laughing, joy, stay with it, because the only way out is through. And if it's a negative emotion, you might be tempted to go back to repressing it or avoiding it, distract yourself from it. But the only way out is through. On the other side of going through that emotion, that negative emotion, and staying with it, is the peace that you're really looking for. So moving forward, realize that negative behavior, either yours or theirs, is a result of denying one of the humbling truths. If others treat you badly, it reflects on their imperfect coping. They are struggling or unaware or misguided, and it is an act of compassion to let people know that they have hurt you so that they can learn to live these truths and be free. Whenever you feel a negative emotion, try to figure out which truth you aren't accepting: limited control, knowledge, and an unmet need. Then work on fixing the cause or accepting it to have peace. Thank you.